Hello, 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 Facebook. Kristina Marie Hayes coming into you live from Platteville, Colorado. Hashtag Boss Lady Hayes in the house. As you're coming in below, if you let me know where you're coming in from, if you're watching the live, drop a 1 below. If you're watching the replay, drop a 2 below, just so I can connect with you. Let me know where you're coming in from. I really love to hear from what part of the world you guys are in today. Please feel free to share this out. I really do appreciate all of the love. But we're going to talk about the power of vulnerability. I'm gonna tell you what, I started this book. It was recommended to me yesterday. And hey Julie, how are you? It was recommended to me yesterday to listen to it or read it. I listened to it because I'm on the road all day long. And it was The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown. And it's been recommended to me before. I know that for a fact. But I finally listened to it, and let me tell you what, it was pretty eye-opening, and I love those eye-opening things, the way the things that make you look at the world through a different color, right? Like a different pair of glasses, whatever it might be. Hey, Margaret, how are you? So it was really, really interesting to me, and I talked about how a lot of the times, like being vulnerable, being sad, those things carry a negative stigma with us. Like if I'm sad or if I'm vulnerable or if I show my feelings in such a way that you're going to be considered weak, right? And I came to you guys in a different spot, in a different place in my house, because I felt it was kind of necessary to get out of the kitchen for this, because I feel like it needs to be heard. When we turn off of those feelings, we prevent ourselves from being able to truly feel all of the other things. Does that make sense to you? Drop a 3 below if that makes sense to you. Yes or yes. Because here's the deal, is if we're not able to like fully open our hearts and our lives to accept all of the gifts, we're not going to get half of the gifts. And I know that sounds weird, but it's the truth. We all kind of sit in a scarcity mindset where, and I'm guilty of this. My husband is not so much. We kind of are different. We balance each other out in a good and a bad way. But and scarcity mindset is a scary place to be, because you're always feeling like there's never going to be enough. Like I'm all about saving and preparing for other things, but at the same time, living in a place where like there's never going to be enough. Like you wake up in the morning, I didn't get enough sleep. You go to bed at night figuring you're not going to get enough sleep. You didn't get enough done. It's never enough. You never have enough money. You never have enough sleep. You never have enough rest. You never have enough things done. You never have enough time. That's a scarcity mindset, and it's a horrible place to be in, right? And there's a lot of different ways that you can do, or things that you can do to actually break those cycles. One of the things that really hit me the most was I've never believed this, and I've never looked at it like this, but you really can't love someone more than you love yourself. And to me, that was like, yeah, you can. Sometimes I've always felt like we can love somebody more than we love ourselves, and that's not the truth. You can't love somebody more than you're capable of loving yourself. Just like you can't be compassionate to somebody more than you're capable of being compassionate to yourself. And it's kind of crazy, but it's really, really true. A lot of us have a shame-based fear. And it was really interesting in part of the book. Like, this was a 6-hour audible that I couldn't stop listening to. So there's a lot of pieces that I may have missed or skipped over or just didn't absorb, because I'll absorb them later. They'll fit to me later. But one of the parts was talking about like kids in school. How different children were like, turning in a paper, for instance, in school, and your name wasn't on that paper. So because your name wasn't on that paper or whatever, or the teacher kind of like called you out in front of the whole class, you felt shamed. And when we feel shamed, we react differently. So learning how to live through those things and learning how to react to those things differently is a huge, like, if you guys get a chance, you need to read or listen to this book. So a lot of people look for how-tos, how-to in life, how to get rich, how to do the things, I'm always constantly looking at YouTube's like, so right now we have a pool fiasco in the backyard. Long story short, we have bought an amazing pool. We didn't store it properly. So we've been like trying to hack it together. And it was really sad because I actually had bought another pool last year, and I turned around and sold that, and I wish I would have kept it, but it is what it is. But how-tos don't really get us there, because if how-tos did, if we had how-tos like going through school and how to live your life, and here's how you do this, and you knew that if you did this and you followed those things, you were going to be successful, or you were going to be skinnier, or you were going to be wealthy, or you were going to be this, or you're going to be that. If we followed how-tos because they really worked, don't you think we would all be in a better mindset? We'd be living our best day ever, right? How-tos don't work, okay? And if they did, we would be living those best days. How many of us, and I want you to drop a 4 below if this can relate to you, how many of us work for a job that they want us to do more with less? And I can totally relate to that. And it can be at home too. Do more with less. Like, you know, buy more groceries with less money. Get more things done with less time. You know, in life in general, work, that expectation is kind of put on us. But we allow that expectation to happen. Let's be honest. When you choose to show up, or you choose to do things differently, or you choose to pursue different opportunities in life, you're put into an arena. And in that arena, when you decide to step into that arena, you're going to get kicked. You're going to get things thrown at you. Your life is going to be a little bit chaotic. But if you don't get into that arena and you don't choose to show up, you kind of have chosen to shut down your inner beauty. And I hate that when there's so many people on here that have such an amazing skill set and they're so good at something, but they shut down that inner beauty because somebody told them that they weren't enough. Somebody told them, you just need to go to school and you need to go to work, and this is what your life is going to be. Somebody told you to do those things, and I'm really sad that that's what has happened. There's a couple of different things. Love and shame are two different things. When we love, we nurture and we grow, right? But when we shame, comes blame, disrespect, betrayal, withholding affections. Withholding affections is like huge. And I never looked at that as part of that. We damage the root of our lives when we shame others, okay? And you can only heal or be healed when you've acknowledged these actions that have come onto you. So learning to like figure out where these were from. One of the biggest things is like, I'm a go. Like, I always go. I don't have time to be sick. I don't have time to be tired. I don't have time to do these things. And nobody ever told me, oh, well, you're sick, you're weak. Oh, you're tired, you're weak. Nobody ever told me those things, but it was something that I watched play out in my life. My parents are both very hard workers, and my grandparents too. Like, I never saw them have time to be sick. I never saw them have, and this was like huge eye opener for me today. I never saw my parents have time to take care of themselves. I never saw my grandparents have time to take care of themselves. It was not a taught action to me. I never ever saw, hey Ann, how are you? I never ever saw my parents rewarding themselves for working hard, whether it be, and I see it now, but even then it's like almost like a guilt thing when you do something good for yourself. So I never saw them have that downtime. I never saw them have that time allowed to be home and be sick in bed. And so for me, it's repeated. It's a repeated action for me, because when I'm sick or I'm tired or whatever it might be, I don't have time to be sick. I don't have time to be tired. I'm so busy that I don't have time to do these things, right? One of the things that hit me though today was, are we so busy because we are running from the truth? And I've been kind of fighting this inner battle with myself lately, because I know what I really want to do with my life. And I know what I need to do, and I know how to do it. I just need to do the things. And so this battle has been fighting with me, because I know that I can be great at it, but I think that a lot of us are guilty of self-sabotage. So we sabotage ourselves from being amazing because we're afraid of, what if we do succeed? What if all of the things that we ever wanted in life come to us? Then what? And so I'm guilty. I'm totally guilty of self-sabotage. I'm totally guilty of not doing the things. I'm totally guilty of knowing what I really, really want in life, but not pursuing those things. Does that make sense to you? Drop a 5 below if you can relate to that, because that was like I kind of had to drive extra today just because I wanted to be able to hear these things. That was a huge deal for me. So wholeheartedly, living wholeheartedly is like a big deal. This one was another thing that kind of hit me hard. Not fully living is harder and more dangerous. Not living fully is harder and more dangerous. Okay? Think about that. Because if you're not living to your true potential, your true love, your true passion, whatever it might be, it could be harder and more dangerous than actually going after the things that you want to go after. And that's true. A lot of us tend to disengage ourselves to protect ourselves. So if people around us are going through hard times, and I'm guilty of this, and I've lost friendships because of this, and those are friendships that I probably can never get back. But disengaging myself from their emotions that they're going through, because I can't handle that, because there's certain things in life that I don't want to say been equipped, but I struggle with those things. So I've had friends that have lost people in their lives that really needed me to be there, and I wasn't able to be there for them. So I disengaged myself so that I didn't have to deal with those emotions, because I'm afraid of those things happening, because I'm afraid of having to go through these things. And so I disengage myself completely to protect myself. Telling somebody that you love them in fear of them not telling you back is one of the biggest vulnerable things that we can do in life. But it's also one of the most rewarding things that you can do in your life. Being able to share your love to somebody and not knowing if they're going to love you back, that's a pretty big deal. And think about it, because the reward in the end is like just knowing that you can be 100% in tune with your heart is a big deal. This book, like, I'm probably going to listen to it 3 or 4 more times because it was just amazing. Own your story. And here's what I mean by that. We all have a story. And I've talked about this before. Your story is your power. We all have a story to share and to tell others. But own your story and know that it's your power. And know that when you own your story, you have the capability and the possibilities to write the ending to your story. Just because these things, XYZ, led you to this point, doesn't mean that that's your full and complete story. Because those are the things that lead you to be able to write the greatest ending of your life, right? We are able to write the last chapters of our lives. And it's up to you to choose to do so. This one was another big one. It's easier to live in disappointment than to feel disappointed. Think about that. It's easier to live with a disappointment than to feel, because the feeling is a stronger power to feel disappointed, okay? Sympathy and empathy are completely different things. And this is a little bit longer than my lives normally go, because I really feel like this needs to be hit on. Like, sympathy and empathy are 2 different things. So saying, I'm really sorry that happened to you, that's sympathizing for somebody. But empathy is really feeling with them and being vulnerable with them and being able to be there through the hard spots. Totally different things in life. I'm going to leave you guys with this, because this was one of the biggest things that, like, I had to listen to this part 5 times over and over again, because it resonated with me. If you have an opportunity to live a fulfilling life where your soul is fed and you're able to feed your family, so your soul is fed, you're able to feed your family, all right, then you need to do the things. You need to jump off the fence. You need to make the leap, because here's why. Many people live a life where they have a career/passion, okay? There's a lot more people than you think that are actually doing 2 jobs. So some people might be an amazing accountant, but that is not their passion. That is what's paying their bills. They're doing something else that they would love to do, but they've never followed through on it to be able to make that a career choice, right? So if you have the opportunity to do 2 things, whether it's help others, whether it is whatever it is, and I don't care what age you are, like, this was something that hit me hard. There was a woman that was speaking, and she said, oh, I'd really like to go to school for that, but I'm 43 years old. By the time I finish, I'm going to be 46. And here's the thing. You're going to be 46 anyways, right? Like, you're going to be that age anyways. What's the difference? Do the things. Do whatever it is that's going to make you happy, because you're still going to turn 46. So you're saying that if you don't go to school or if you don't do the things that you're not going to turn 46. Yes, you still are. But why not live a fulfilled life? Why not have all of the things that you want to have in life? And one more note. Cool is not so cool. So I want you to think about this. When somebody tells you to act cool or to pose cool, what is your normal stance with that? Your normal stance is kind of to shut off. You're kind of closed-armed, right? That's our idea. I mean, when somebody says the word cool, I think of Cool Writers from like Grease Lightning, which my husband's never watched that movie. But you think of that movie and you think of like the cool, like closed off. But think about it. Cool actually means like a straitjacket because you close yourself off from everything. You shut yourself off. You turn on a different stance. You turn off all of your feelings, all of your emotions, all of your vulnerability. You turn all of those things off to be cool. So think about that. Cool is not always the coolest. And I hope you guys have an amazing night. And I thank you for tuning in and chatting with me a little bit. I kind of rambled on a lot, but that book was amazing. And if you get an opportunity to read it or listen to it, let me know. If you guys want me to send it to you, I can do so. But I hope you guys have an amazing night and enjoy your weekend because I have the littles coming over tomorrow, and I'm super excited for them to be here. They'll get to see the Batmobile, and hopefully we'll get this pool running because it's really driving me cray-cray. So talk to you later. Have a great night.